Yes, guys. So, welcome back to another virtual episode of Women in Sales, where today we've got on special guest to her journey into high ticket sales. So, yeah, welcome, Shannon Quinn. How are we?
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Thanks for being here. So, let's get right into it. Where were you before remote sales? What were you doing?
I was still in sales, but I was in face-to-face sales. So I started in door-to-door sales 5 years ago, so literally COVID. I was studying at uni in Liverpool and obviously had to move home. Had to move home to Ireland, but my mindset was like, I need to get back to Liverpool. Like I wanted to be with my friends. I just wanted to be just doing like new grad stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there was an opening for a sales role. Didn't know what it was. Didn't like have a clue anything about sales, but yeah, I just took it and just got stuck in. And then from that, progressed into a sales manager position within about 2 years. And then I was managing my own sort of door to door sales team for another 2 years. And then yeah, I just read a lot online about remote sales, and I was like, you know what, I literally love traveling. I luckily enough could go away a lot with the office, but I was like, I hate being stuck in one place. I love to just be able to get up and go.
Yeah.
But I would like to be able to, work at the same time. So yeah, it just drew me in.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I started a year ago now, just over a year ago.
So, just to recap then, so you moved back to Liverpool and started your sales career in Liverpool, doing door to door sales.
In Liverpool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
literally.
Jeez, I wouldn't even do that. Walking those streets of Liverpool,
Literally.
dangerous, dangerous territory. I mean, if you can do that, you can do anything, can't you? So even that, just like moving out your home city, like
Uh-huh.
I think there's a theme with a lot of these girls that I've been speaking to on the podcast the past few episodes, where they've just moved out their home city. Like now you're in London, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, did you go? Did you say you went to uni for uni in Liverpool?
Yeah, I've basically been away from my hometown since 10 years now, pretty much.
Wow. How important do you think that's been for like character development moving out your home city? Because there's so many girls watching this who'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared to move."
Yeah.
Not even like just to Dubai. Obviously, that's a big move, but like
Yeah.
out your home city, like how important do you feel like that's played a part in you being able to become good at sales?
Oh, so important. Not because like I love my hometown and every time I go home it's lovely and it's very comforting and it's nice, but that's the
Yeah.
thing, it's very comforting. And it's sometimes even when I go home for a few days, like I nearly relax too much because I'm like back in the chill zone
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So I think just moving away, it obviously helps you to just get stuck in, meet new people. You have to just like find your way. Like you have to just figure it out. Like when I was at uni, I had like two jobs going at the one time.
Yeah.
Like I every time I went to a shift, I was meeting someone new. So that's definitely what helped me become good at sales as well because I was just naturally good with people.
Yeah.
But before that, oh God, like when I was at home, living and working at home, like I could go all day not speaking to anyone, like happily.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not good because that's like your comfort cozy zone is not to speak to anyone all day. But yeah, 100% like if I could advise anyone to do one thing in their life is just move away from your hometown.
Yeah.
Just spread your wings a little bit, meet new people, find some like new ideas, get into like even like a new sport or something.
Yeah.
Like you have to just find your feet and just figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah. I would say like I would 100% agree with the getting into a sport, pushing out your comfort zone. I mean, obviously I've played sport my whole life, so I guess it is my comfort zone. But when I moved to Dubai, the first place I went to meet people.
Yeah.
What football team can I join? Even I have all these mad ideas. I'm like, right, I'm moving to Australia. I'm going to move to yeah. I'm like, right, what football team
Did you
can I
say
join?
Yemen? What did you
So
say, Yemen?
No, no, not Yemen.
You said move
Not,
to Yemen.
no, not to Yemen. I think there's a war going on there. No disrespect to Yemen. But
Uh,
no, move to like Australia or Thailand or like, when I go to these countries, I'm like, oh, could live here.
yeah.
But yeah, like I'll look at the football teams, and like that's a way that I usually push myself out my comfort zone.
Mm.
And I think sport in general just plays a massive. Are you into what did he play in Ireland? Camogie.
I used to play camogie. Yeah, I played football on camogie. But same thing when I went to uni in Liverpool. I was like, right, I need to join the football team,
Yeah,
and it took me a year to join it. Like it was there for a year. I just didn't do it, and then when I joined, it was like literally the best thing ever. And the friends that I have from that group are friends for life. So
yeah,
you just have to like push yourself. Um, and I think also though it depends on the type of person that someone wants to be.
yeah.
Like if they're like, oh, I want to be like really successful in sales and I want to be able to speak to whoever, like any random person, maybe, I want to be able to make new friends, etc. But then they're not willing to do all of these things, then obviously it's not for them. But if you are someone that wants to really become a better person, develop your skills, etc., you do need to push yourself out of that comfort zone.
100% because sales is the most uncomfortable. I mean, we're just immune to it now. I mean, I think if you do
Yeah.
door to door, being immune to that rejection every single day, and there's again another common theme that we have throughout
Yeah.
these podcasts. I mean, going back to doing door to door, like, why on earth did you stay in? I mean, I'm assuming you were quite good at it because you stayed in it for 2 years before you got
Yeah.
promoted.
No, I do ask myself, like, my first week, like, I talk about it all the time. I'm like, there's no one that had a first week like me, like, 100%. Like, it was like the summertime, but it was torrential rain every single day. Like, things like stood in dog poo on my second day, like, all of
Yeah.
these things. And I asked myself, like, I would go home crying every evening, and I was like, I'm just going to go in the next day. And I kept going back and I just kept going in. And then I kept crying. But then eventually, like, the nose and getting the police called on you and stuff got less.
Yeah.
So
People
when
probably people probably thought you were robbing them.
well, people, because it was COVID, like, people were like, "You're not supposed to be knocking my door," but then other people were like, "Come on in, come on around the back, come on, have a cup of tea." So that was the
That's
fun
so
stuff
funny.
about it. Like it was enjoyable that side. But yeah, I asked myself every day, why did I go in? But in my head, like, I spoke to my parents, and luckily enough, they do push me to these things.
Yeah.
Like, some people speak to their parents and their friends, and they would say, like, no, quit it. Like, no, it's not good for you. Quit it. But my parents were like, well, it must be good. It must be good for you because this person's doing it and this person's doing it. So, it'll get better. It'll get better. And I was like, okay, okay. And then it did, and it did, and it got better, and I got better at it, and yeah, it just got really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that I had a good influences like pushing me to do it, because some of my friends, like, obviously it was COVID, some of them didn't even have any jobs, they were just
Yeah.
sitting at home.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas I was out knocking doors.
Yeah. I feel like I mean I wasn't out knocking doors, don't get me wrong, but I was out there grafting. I think what was I doing with my PT business,
Yeah,
posting content every day. So I guess like that graft. I know, as I say, don't get me wrong, I wasn't out there knocking doors, but that's
still
just
hard, like,
yeah.
yeah.
And I think I want to talk about the £2,200 in one day. I mean, we'll move on to that in a minute, but I think it's easy, isn't it? Like we see these, posts and people see my high life now and
Yeah,
like think that sales just must be easy for them. But what I went through during that first 6 months of trying to grow my business when I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. I couldn't even sell for £129. I was getting on calls, going through the whole process, and I mean, I think with door knocking, at least they just scream no and that's it, and you can move on. But sitting there and going through a whole sales
yeah,
call, not knowing what you're doing, thinking you're selling the best thing ever, and then you're like £129, and they're like, no. Like, I think just that,
that's worse.
yeah, like it's mentally. I mean, I suppose with you, obviously, yeah, in the rain. I mean, I think I'd rather be me than you going through the streets.
Yeah, yeah.
But, it's like it's a very similar concept in terms of like how much shit we've eaten, how much shit we do eat,
Yeah,
like every day in sales.
yeah,
But yeah, once you get immune to that, it's like it's a thrill, isn't it? When you
yeah.
close a deal. What was the moment? We'll talk about the £2,200 in one day. I mean, what was the moment that have you ever worked a 9 to 5?
No.
No. So what was the moment?
No, sorry, I have. I done a placement year at uni and it was 9 till 5 every day for a year.
Okay.
And that's what made me decide like I'm not doing a 9 to 5 for my life, basically.
What I want to know, A, what on earth made you want to get into door-to-door sales? And obviously, yeah, you moved out your hometown. And B, what was the moment when you thought, right, I want to get into remote sales?
So, starting in door-to-door sales, honestly, was just the learning side of it. For the first, like, we couldn't actually go out door to door, so we were doing a lot of training online before we could go in,
Mm,
and which meant that I met the team and the guys that were going to be training us, and I was like, whoa, I'm literally learning so much here,
yeah,
and it was like I seen it as free training, whereas a lot of people would have been like, "Oh, do we get paid for this training?" Where I was like, "This is free training.
yeah,
Like they're teaching us sales for free."
yeah,
So we had that, and then I came in the first week, and I just loved the culture. Everyone was so helpful. Like everyone would pitch practice with you over and over again to get it perfect. So it was the learning side and how like I seen myself developing when I was there
yeah.
that made me stay. So even like running around in the rain or people chasing you down the road, like I still came back in the evening and I was like, yeah, I had a really good day today. Hopefully tomorrow was better, but this was good because I learned this, this, and this today, and I'm getting really better at my introduction or whatever it was. So that's what made me stay in door to door. What made me go to remote was honestly, I was managing a team of like 15 to 20 door to door sales reps in London. Um, I'm just a lot of the people in my office were like young lads. They were like 17, 18, and they're just like, chatting shit all day. And I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, I'm seeing all of these women online doing sales, sitting from home, having like intelligent, fun conversations with people on a Zoom call. I'm like, I want to learn that. And secondly, I'd already learned face-to-face sales. I've already
Mm,
done loads of types of it. So I was like, I want to learn online sales.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what took me into it really.
How did you find the transition? Because I remember like going back, I think I found the message in my requests, like you literally messaged me, like I can't even remember when the message was, but it was quite a
Yeah,
long time ago. How did I
yeah,
get into high ticket sales? Obviously,
yeah.
me being a terrible DM, terrible business owner at the time, I've completely missed the message. So that was quite a while ago. So I know you'd been
That was
thinking about,
January
was it?
last year.
And
Yeah,
you've been thinking about it for a while before then. And then I
yeah.
don't know, yeah, whenever you join the academy or whatever. But the most money you've made in a day, how much is the most money in commission you've made in a day?
So there was the known 2,200, but as of January, I think it was like just over 3,000.
Wow.
That was four closed deals. Funny story though, actually with the 2,200, I was like my second week, and my first week I closed like six deals, and my second week I was on zero, and it was Thursday. And I was like, what is going on? I was doing so well last week. This is my second week. They're gonna get rid of me. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like panicking. And I took a sales call in the morning on the Friday, and I was like, oh, I didn't close them. I was like, what's going on? Like, I was just in a rut. I was like, what the heck? No, I'm done. I need to quit. And then I went out and spoke to my partner, and obviously he's in sales. He was like, would you just relax? Like, would you relax? Like, you know what you're doing. I was like, I don't. And then I went in and closed an 8K deal on the spot, and I was like,
We can all retire. We can all retire.
I was
That's it.
like, remember what I just said? And that was it. And then on
Yeah.
the Friday, I closed like three. The Saturday, I closed like two. And I was like, I went from five in my first week to like, I think like 8 or 10 in the second week. I was like, oh my God. But it was just proves that every week is different and like
Yeah.
not to focus on like one day. But yeah, it was funny.
That is so funny. Yeah, no, that we talk about that all the time. It's like some
Yeah,
days are literally you just it's the worst day of your life. But
yeah.
like how I know it's really hard to detach from that and like because you hold yourself to such high standards. I think you got to as a top performing sales closer. You got promoted to manager pretty quick.
Yeah.
You as well. Yeah, talk us through that. So like that was there a mindset shift that you needed or like what was like a breakthrough where you thought like, yeah, this is for me, I can do this that led you to being promoted to a manager?
So it obviously helped that I had management experience
Yeah.
before. Um, but yeah, I went into the sort of mindset when I started as a just an individual rep, closing deals
Mm.
myself. It was very much like me, focus on me, get tick, tick, tick,
Yeah.
my commissions this week, month, whatever. And then the mindset shift was, oh shit, I need to go back to manager mode, caring about people, like creating the
Yeah.
systems, like um, is what I'm doing now, is that going to be teachable to someone that I bring on into the team 3 months down the line?
Mm.
So it was very much like you have to think very much, firstly, put yourself in a new person's position. So let's say a new closer joins.
Yeah.
Um, and you just have to switch on the like caring about people mode. I think when like how do I explain that? So like when you're an individual rep, you're just like you're focusing on you, you're getting your skills, blah, blah, blah. But when you start managing a team, obviously you have to start thinking a lot more about them
Yeah.
and how am I going to make it easier for them and how am I going to make them better.
Yeah.
Um, so that was the switch that I had to adopt again pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um, which was again lucky enough I already had it a little bit in the bank. But yeah, it's definitely very different because everything that you do throughout the day, it's like okay, well, how's this going to work for the team?
Yeah.
How's this going to work for this new person coming in next week, etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's like one big shift that I've had to make. I guess like managing people is you've got to obviously yeah you've got to do what's best for the company, how to drive revenue, as much money as
Yeah,
possible, but also think about the team as well, like how does this translate when the CEO's on your back, like why aren't we making fucking sales?
breathing down your neck. Yeah.
Yeah, why is this closer doing this? Da, 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 da. Why like and I think managing girls, I mean I was going to ask you like door-to-door sales, I'm assuming it was that male dominated.
Yeah, it was probably like 60-40 men, I'd say.
60-40 men, and then you've come into an offer now. Who do you sell to now? So your new offer that you're on, what are you selling at the moment? What offer you're on? Like,
Men, so crypto offer.
oh, nice,
Mainly men.
nice. How do you prefer selling to men or women?
Um, I like men because they're a lot more like logical and just
Yeah.
straight up, whereas women are very like, I don't know, and it's very emotional and it's very the feelings and the emotions and yeah, so that's the difference. But I love both, but yeah, it's just a different challenge now, really.
Yeah. So you're in London at the moment.
Yeah.
You took a bit of you took a little bit of time off, didn't you? Traveling. So
Yeah.
where did you go? Australia.
So I was in Australia for 8 weeks last year. That was in November. And
Yeah.
then I did Bali for 2 weeks and then I came back for 6 weeks and then I was in the Philippines for 5 weeks and skiing for a week as well.
Gold.
Um, I know. So I just massively cashed up like December, January, and then I was like, right, I'm off.
Yeah, no. So you've obviously been taking calls in all those countries, I'm assuming as well. What I was going to ask you was, what would you say to somebody who wants to become a high ticket closer? Like, I always ask this question to the girls on the podcast. There's three main things that determines whether someone's going to be successful in sales or not: character traits, beliefs, and skill set. So what's one skill set that you think that you've got? I know you said you're a people person, but define what that actually means. Can you define what that actually means? And what's one skill set that you think that you have as an individual that makes you or puts you ahead of the competition?
Okay, so skill set. I just really like people just really focus on how do I sell to this person? How do I sell to this person? It's not how do I sell to this person, it's okay, look at this person, look at their profile, their background, their life. Their problem is XYZ. How are we going to solve that problem? If we can't solve that problem, we can't, they're not going to want to buy it anyway. So
Yeah.
there's no point trying to feature, sell, and push for this person to buy. It's literally, okay, so this person's got a problem. Okay, we can solve it that way. So let's go with this approach. Let's get them to visualize them actually having the problem solved. What's it going to bring them, like where are they going to be in the future, how easier is life going to be for them if this problem solved. It's not about like someone buying something, it's about you actually solving their problem. Character traits, you just have to have, you do, like, I suppose people do say this, but you just have to have a bit of like grit about you. Like, you, if you're gonna sit there and have like people say no like 3 times in a day, and you're gonna go off and cry about it and go out on the piss that night because like I'm the worst and like this is so shit and I'm gonna move on and do something else, then you're never gonna do anything well. Like
Where do you
ever.
think that comes from? So I know you moved out your hometown like at a young age. Like where does this drive to want to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation? Like the fact that you went and chose door to door sales as a career path. I mean, I think there's something wrong in your mind. But other than that, like where does that drive come from? Like that ambition. Like where would you say that comes from? Because you sound like you've got two very supportive parents at home. Like where does that come from?
I think it's a mix of, my parents have always been like very like, even when I told them like it started in door to door sales, they were like,
Mm.
"What's the salary?" I was like, "I don't know. I think you get paid as commission." And they were like, "Oh, okay." Like they weren't like, "No, you're not doing a commission based job." They were like, "Well, you know what? There's some people out there that don't have any jobs right now, so go and
Yeah.
do it," basically. And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like 20 quid a sale. So I do 3 sales in a day, which was like a PB, and that was 60 quid a day.
Yeah.
Like, so they just pushed me to just do it. Secondly, my partner, like obviously he's been in sales for 10 years. He runs a door-to-door sales
Yeah.
organization. He is without a doubt like the hardest working person I am around. Like he is up, go, go, go. He's got like 4 businesses on the go at the minute. He's starting another, something else, something else. Like he's just always like go, go, go.
Yeah.
And anytime I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to do this," like he'd be like, "Just do it. Like just fucking do it.
Yeah.
If your body's telling you no, don't do it, it's because your body wants you to relax and chill. You need to just push yourself to do it."
Yeah.
So it's definitely who I surround myself with. Also my friends, like they're all doing really well. Like they're all, either living in different countries or like in a really good career. So I just make sure that I'm around people who are gonna like push me and they're not gonna pull me back. Um,
What advice would you give to someone who hasn't got that though? Because like there's going to be a lot of people watching this who's like, my fella's a big fat bum and doesn't do anything, and I haven't got a dad or I haven't got supportive
yeah.
parents. Where do you find these people other than HSS?
So
Yeah, like where do you find these people?
So, number one, I would say is clear out. I know people don't talk about this, but clear out your socials, clear out your Instagram, clear out all of your crappy influencers that are selling bikinis and
Yeah,
fucking hair straighteners and whatever else. And all of this, honestly, is just crap. Like,
yeah,
it's just stuff that you look at and you're like, "Oh, why am I not like that?" Blah blah blah. And go and follow some people like Leila Hermosi,
yeah.
what's her name, Shelley Sells. I'm sure some people are obviously following you if they want.
Yeah,
Just follow influential women that are actually gonna, like Cody Sanchez, like
yeah.
she's
Look, that literally them three girls are the only girls who come up
yeah,
on my feed every day. Literally, my partner's like, fucking hell, that's all she watch. Literally, all I watch
yeah,
is that's all that comes up on my feed. Alex Hormozy, Layla Hormozy,
yeah,
Cody Sanchez,
yeah,
Shelby,
yeah,
all of the guys in the high ticket site in the sales space. So like I follow them, and that's all that's on my feed. I don't follow. Well, I follow quite a lot of people, but it's just your algorithm, isn't it?
yeah,
Like exactly
yeah,
what it's almost like that you can change your algorithm to what you
yeah,
want to see. So, what you're thinking about usually appears in your life. Like,
yeah,
you can literally physically go and change that on Instagram and stop
Yeah.
scrolling and looking at shit. I try
Yeah.
and not scroll myself, to be honest, but
Sometimes it's good though, like if you're using it for good and you're listening to, like, you're in on a video of, say, Cody Sanchez talking about investments or whatever, or sales skills, brilliant. But as I said, if you're looking at Love Island and you're looking at like somebody making
yeah,
cookies or whatever, like just get rid of it.
yeah,
That's if you don't have those influences around you.
yeah.
Also, just obviously join societies, join different school programs, like school platforms, sorry. I'm not a massive reader. I be honestly, I don't read a lot. I do listen to Headway, so that's where it summarizes loads of like key points about top books.
Yeah,
But yeah, just you literally are what you eat.
yeah,
Like just yeah, get away from all that stuff.
yeah, 100%. And last one was um with beliefs. I know you mentioned a few times like delayed gratification, I guess, is could come under a belief. Like, what's one belief that you have about the world or you have about yourself that gives you an advantage, as I say, against like other competitors, or
I
that's
think,
allowed you to
yeah,
do?
I think I always do talk about delayed gratification because, like, especially, I don't know, I mean, it probably is this, it is the world that we live in. Like, everything's so instant. You can get literally, like, fries delivered to your door in 10 minutes. Like, all of this is, like, quick.
Oh, I get me milk delivered in 2 minutes. Literally, just put it
Okay.
on the app, come
That's
downstairs, get me milk for me Cocoa Pops delivered in 2 minutes. Mad. But yeah,
what I'm saying. But unfortunately, I mean, it's good, obviously, but unfortunately, a lot of girls that do want to start a career in sales, maybe they're 20, 21, 22, they have grown up in this world where everything is so instant and you click your fingers and you just get it. But that's just not the reality of like getting into sales. Like, you have to chip away, you have to watch back your calls, you have to pitch practice, you have to go through, you might have to do like 60 sales calls
yeah,
for you to fully like know all of the objections, for you to close 100% of your deals every day, 5 days in a row. Like, you have to just keep chipping away at it. And I think, yeah, I would say it's delayed gratification. Like, you have to remember that if you're in something, you've been doing it for like 2 months and you're thinking, oh, this is not for me, then you're literally going to do that with everything forever, and you might as well just quit now. Like, if you're going to quit in 2 months, you might
yeah.
as well just quit at it now.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, there's so many girls who quit. There's so many, I've seen so many girls, um, even like in the academy, not necessarily mine, but academies have been in
You're
it.
going to take over the world though, they tell you, like,
Yeah.
the
And
world.
like, they're just like, oh, they've gone on an offer and it's not been the offer that they want. And it's like, oh, well, that's not for me. I've gone on this offer and it's not for me. It's shit. They want me to do cold call. Oh, God forbid. They want me to do cold calling. Oh, God
I
forbid.
was doing the cold calling and the closing and managing the team for 6 months. Like, you just do it.
Yeah, literally, especially if you've got no sales experience. Like if
Yeah.
you're new, as I say, you got to be coming in, you got to be willing to eat shit, you got to be willing to start at the bottom, and that's what I
Yeah.
think. What do you know? What is so good about this job though, which is what I like. I like the fact that any single person, it doesn't sales doesn't discriminate. It just as long as you've got the work ethic. Like we know if you're good at sales because you're making money. If you're not good at
Yeah.
sales, you're not making money. You're not working hard. What I like about it is if you can endure that shit at the beginning, if you can endure that and you can go through it and you can get hit in the face every single day with shit, after wave after wave after wave, you're going to be rewarded. Like eventually,
Yeah.
and it's not like any other career because the financial gain and the scope of how much you can earn financially is like very rewarding in terms of the shit,
Yeah.
like relative to the shit that you're willing to eat basically in
Yeah.
6 months. If you can just endure for 6 months going through getting criticism, getting feedback, getting slammed doors in your face, if you can endure that, then those 10k months, as long as you've learned and you've improving, those 10k
Yeah.
months, they are around the corner.
Yeah.
But people just
Right.
quit. It's like that. It's like that meme, isn't it? Where your man, the kid's man, the man's manning for gold, and he's so close to gold, and they're like, just
Gives
give
up.
up, you know.
Yeah, literally.
But
But also, with what you're saying there, it helps in everyday life as well. Like if you're going to be someone who is strong in that sense, and let's say, something happens in your family, or you go through a breakup, or you fall out with your friend, or someone
Mm.
screams at you in the street, these things just don't really affect you anymore. Like someone could scream at me in the street right now, and I would be like, "What are you doing?" Like, it just wouldn't phase me anymore. So getting good at, as I say, getting good at sales, going through all of the shit, it helps in just everyday life
Yeah,
situations as well.
yeah, 100%. That definitely makes you more like resilient as a
Hmm.
person, and yeah, like better boundaries, not willing to put up with shit. I tell all this, I say all this in the academy, like sales is a skill that isn't just to make money, it's for everyday life, better relationships,
Yeah.
confidence, all of this sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to have to leave it there. Yeah, that was a good convo. Thank you very much
No problem.
for coming on. I guess last thing, one piece of advice to a girl who wants to get into sales,
One piece of advice. Um,
thinking that they can't do it. Is this for me?
Thinking that you can't do it. No. Oh, everyone can do it. Ev- not everyone can do it, and everyone has the ability to do it. It's just whether you're going to fight all of those thoughts in your head and all of these negative distractions that are going to tell you not to do it. It's just
Yeah,
whether you've got the willpower, really. So just remember that if you want to get into sales, anyone can literally do it. It's just whether you're willing to push past all of
yeah,
those things. You can either do that, or you can just go and settle for, I don't know, a 9 to 5 job, whatever. It depends what you want in your life, really.
yeah. You can go and settle for door knocking in
Yeah.
Liverpool, on the streets of Liverpool.
It's actually so much fun. It's
Oh, well, look, Shannon, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate you coming on. It's been a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have you on. And yeah, we'll keep in touch. See you next time.
Yeah.
Go on.
Bye. Speak soon.
Bye. Bye.